Hello YouTube, Tim here with my modified, originally a Hun style, very loosely using that term, longish kind of bow. It was vaguely reflexed at the handle, very slightly deflexed throughout the limb, almost not at all in the upper limb, and then somewhat in the lower limb, just because the lower limb was stouter and needed a little bit of deflex so that it bent evenly, the tiller was on. What I did is I chopped off the terminal 6 inches or so, give or take, of each, actually maybe 8 of each limb. I replaced it with a lighter, more aerodynamic, cooler looking, and more heavily reflexed tip. Not very much more heavily reflexed, but still. I then added string bridges just to ensure that it stays, and now we're looking to actually go ahead and test it to see if we can how much it's going to weigh. Number one, we have the scale here. Whether or not it'll work because of the cold, that does affect the battery, so we may not be able to use it. But we're still going to be able to get some sort of a result from this. I at least want to try drawing it to approximately 28 inches. I'm nervous because whenever you make a juncture like this, it tends to weaken the whole bow. Any imperfections, any cracks, things like that are going to just create all sorts of troubles. So I really don't enjoy doing stuff like this because of that. Even though this is my sort of half-ass eye protection, since I don't really have any goggles at the moment. It hasn't been 10 minutes, I'll need just a few more. Better than nothing, right? Okay, I can't get the scale to work. It's just too cold for the battery to run. But we can at least go and try to draw it a little bit more. I've already drawn it to 24 inches. Let's go ahead and draw it a few times, and we'll just see what we can get. Listening carefully for noises. 20 inches, no problem. $22. No problem. Alright, I'm going to pause there, heat up this thing, and then we'll continue after 22 inches on the scale. Here we are, we have the scale finally woken up and thawed. Let's try and draw it to 24 inches and see what happens. By the way, at 20 it's 40 pounds. $22 is $43.85. $23 is $44.04. Of course, I was holding it there for a second, so it was probably about 45 pounds. Let's go to 24 inches now. Slowly once, and then the second time we'll come back a little bit more vigorously. I'm really just concerned about this bow. Okay, letting it rest for a few seconds. 24 inches, here we go. $46.85 pounds. I'm really concerned about drawing this thing too much farther. 25 inches. I'm not normally this timid, but it's really heavy. I mean, this is a sturdy bow. Jeez.
The scale's already gone to sleep. This is taking more time than it ought to have, or it just froze. You know what I mean? No, I was able to wake it back up. It isn't, and it fell right back to sleep. Let's not worry about it. That's really neither here nor there. We know it's heavy. We know it's a heavy bow. I don't hear any nasty sounds. I don't hear anything. That's 26 inches. So far, so good. The bow's not short. It's about 60 inches tip to tip. So we should have no trouble drawing this to a true belly to draw length to 28, which would be about 29.75 AMO. At a AMO 28 inches, that means this is about a 50-pound bow. This is a very nice solid weight. It's just a good, comfortable weight. I'd love to see how this performs. Well, it draws all the way to 27 inches true. I'm going to go to 28 inches true draw from there to there. Again, I like that measurement because you can't screw it up. It's easy to measure because where it rests, where you're drawing to. You take your brace height, you take your draw length, there you get your power stroke, and all of this futzy little calculation that goes into the AMO. I don't know if I necessarily like doing that per se. It has a time and a place, but I just prefer a nice, clean, easy to make measurement, something that's straightforward. Okay, 27 inches once more, and then I'm going to try and take it to 28. No trouble. No trouble. And it feels tense in the center, but it doesn't feel like it has any problems anywhere else. Okay. Ooh, there's a tiny little sound. I don't like sounds of any kind. Let's draw up to 27 inches again just to be safe. Okay. Because 27 inches is already longer than my draw length. So even if the bow can't really take a 30-inch AMO draw, we don't need it to. We only need it to take my draw, which is somewhere between 26 and 28 inches, depending on whether I'm using thumb style, if I'm not anchoring at the corner of my mouth or the corner of my jaw, etc. Great. This is going to be fun to test now that I know it's at least safe to draw. The other bow that we need to test is, of course, the adult recurve, which I did the exact same thing to. That bow's even shorter, thus it makes me even more nervous. This is a very long bow. It should easily be able to stand this. I just don't know, since I hadn't done it before, what it was going to do. I'm looking very forward to trying some of this new stuff. And hope you guys are too. Hope you enjoy it. I will be test shooting this, hopefully chronographing it, and having excuse me, lots more fun. So thanks for watching.